Hi, everyone. Thought it might be helpful to provide a little introductory video about your simulation patient experience that you will have in week one as part of your clinical appraisal course. And just walk you through the process a bit. But I will be coming to the first day of your class, so hold any questions till then, or feel free to email me. So first of all, on Wednesday night, next Wednesday night of week one, the first day also of your clinical appraisal class, between 4 and 8 p.m., you will experience one 35-minute session. So you'll meet with an actor over a Zoom-like forum. You'll log in through the Simulation Labs site, which you will also receive information about from the Simulation Lab as we get closer to the date. So you're just doing one 35-minute session between 4 and 8 p.m. And as soon as the Simulation Lab sends me your assigned times, I will pass that on to you all. But for now, if you could just hold Wednesday night of week one between 4 and 8. And what you'll do, so you'll have this session, your 35-minute session, and let's say my session is scheduled for, I'm the first one, I'm at 4 o'clock. Then I'm going to show up at 3:45 so that I can get a little background information from the simulation lab just about, how the experience will work. And I will also be in that orientation meeting the entire night, so you know that I will be there to support you. And so then if I'm going at 4 o'clock, my session will start at 4. Everything's timed and automated, so you don't have to worry about that. But if you want to bring a watch or something like that to keep track of your time, you're welcome to. Some water, a notepad if it's easier for you to keep some notes nearby, all of that is okay. This is practice with a simulated patient, an actor. So I encourage you to, try some different things out and see what you think. This is a counseling session, so you won't be bringing much of your cat identity to this, really focusing on practicing counseling assessment. That's the point of this experience. So you'll do this 35-minute session where you're building rapport and gathering basic intake information. I'll talk to you about that in a moment. And as you're gathering the information, you're building rapport, finding out what happens. And at some point during the session, you'll say to the client, I have to ask you a couple questions. It's just part of my typical assessment process. They're going to feel out of place, but I have to ask you anyway. And then you'll ask a couple questions off the mental status exam. For example, spell world backwards. What's the date and time? List the last 4 presidents. The simulation patients that we have worked with as a department, we've been in a relationship now for 10 years. So these actors have literally conducted these hundreds of times with other students, and they are prepared to support you. And, if there is airspace to fill, they will try to fill it. This is really meant to be practice. So please see it as such. So you do this session on Wednesday at some point. You're collecting the data, and then you will go ahead and go into the clinical appraisal course shell and fill out a self-evaluation. You have to wait 24 hours, so you can't go back until Thursday. It takes that long for the videos to process. And then you'll watch your video and complete a self-evaluation and 3 peer evaluations. And I'll tell you more about that, how to view those videos on the first day of class. So you'll do that all during week 1, right? And then starting week 2, I believe it's the weekend of week 2, 4 or 5 of you per week will be meeting with Shilpa Sarup, Dr. Sarup, for half an hour in a separate meeting. The times are up in Blackboard in the Simulation Experience Lab folder in Blackboard. And it's just listed in alphabetical order, and that's your time with her to review your session, ask any questions that you might have. Dr. Sarup is a psychologist with 20,000 plus hours of experience conducting intakes and assessment, and she can provide you some really concrete feedback about your experience. And then once all that is done, Dr. Sarup will send me, a note that you've completed the experience, and then those points will be added to Blackboard. So just a review, when you show up for your session with your client on Wednesday, you'll welcome them. Remember to introduce yourself. Ask your client their name and their preferred pronouns. Tell them about yourself. Introduce yourself as a CAT counselor in training, and then you just open it up. What brought them in today? What's going on? When did the issue start? How long has it been going on for? What's it like? And then as you're sort of exploring what brought them in today, you're going to want to, they'll automatically sort of start to bring up information about, I'm depressed, I've been feeling isolated. Well, tell me, what's your family think about that? What's your friends think about that? Do you have any mental health history? Have you been to counseling before? Do you use substances? How's your physical health? And you'll ask 1 to 3 questions off the mental status exam. Feel free to bring notes. Sometime when I feel like it's natural within the session, I'll say to the client, I need to ask you a couple of questions. They're going to feel, sort of out of place here, but I just need to do it as part of my assessment process. Spell world backwards. Who are the last 4 presidents? Okay, thank you for that. And then once your session is over, you'll say, okay, well, it seems like we've come to a natural stopping place. And if you don't make it to the 35-minute mark, that's fine. I always tell students, try to make it to the 20-minute mark, which I've never had a student not do. Even in the quietest of students can make it for 20 minutes, because the SP the actor will also be filling up some airtime. And you'll go up to 35, and then you'll take a pause, and the actor will shake off their who they're playing, and just give you feedback about what it was like to be with you in that moment, just as a person. They are not trained as a counselor. They are not going to give you clinical feedback. And if they do, I'm going to be giving them feedback that was inappropriate. It's really just about what it was like to be in relationship with you as a human being. So they'll give you about 2 to 3 minutes of feedback. And then again, then it's over. You wait 24 hours for these videos to develop, and you'll watch your video, your peers, 3 of your peers' videos, fill out the peer evals. Make sure you send the peer eval to whoever you're filling it out for. And that's it. And so again, I'll be in on the first day of your class to give you more information about the experience, but holistically, this is what you can expect. It's really a great experience, and I hope you can lean into it and just have fun with it. And happy New Year.